you believe? Yakona. Do you believe? Yakona. Do you believe? Yakona.
My name is Helen Herimbi. Welcome to Imbali Live. As some of you might know, Imbali was basically a podcast I started in order to give key players in the South African music industry their flowers while they can still smell them. And then it became this dope-ass live event that the Hive is supporting us on. And today's guest is somebody very special. And I can tell because the room hasn't been this full ever. So please come back next month as well. It won't be this guy again, but come back anyway. So he is the kind of OG that doesn't need an introduction, but I'm going to give him one anyway. He is a founding member of one of the most pioneering, prolific hip-hop groups of all time. He is a solo act who has never been shy to bring other, especially younger acts into his orbit. And he is a branding and marketing maverick. He is Sia Slikour Metane. Please put your hands together for Slikour. Welcome, Slikour.
Yeah.
Or have you forgotten how to use these things? Huh? Your rap days are behind you.
Oh, yeah. What's up, guys? How you guys doing? Cool. Thanks for coming out.
So
Thanks for inviting me.
You're so welcome.
Yeah.
You're very welcome. So we're going to start with the section that I think a lot of people might not know about, right? So a lot of people know you as one of the original beasts from the East.
Yeah.
You know, but where exactly in the East Rand did you grow up, and what kind of kid were you?
I grew up in Katlehong. I had to for a little bit. My teenage years were in Leondale. And I was very into my own ideas.
I was about to say talkative.
Into my own ideas. I don't know if I'm talkative. I think I'm trying to really make people believe in my ideas. And I still am doing that, you know?
Yeah.
So it makes me talk a lot. But, you know, I've learned how to not come in and be too deep. You need to, you know, massage the conversation.
Yeah.
I've been doing that all my life. I've been massaging it. I talked rap into the game, you know?
So where are you? How old are you? What is happening when you discover hip hop?
Damn, there's a guy called MC Hammer, right?
Do you guys know MC Hammer?
It's
a young crowd in here.
Yeah, he retweeted Casper, and I don't think people knew. And then a guy from Builder's Warehouse just retweeted Casper. There's a guy called MC Hammer who basically was just this thing, you know. He was just doing this thing, dancing and rapping, and I'd never seen anything like it. And I just wanted to it talked to me. It talked to me.
Yeah. And you know, when Thabiso was here the last time, he said he started out as a breakdancer.
Yeah.
Did you start out rapping, or were you exploring some of the other elements of hip hop?
No, me, I ain't tried to dance a damn thing. You know, I'm stiff. I was told off the bat, no, you know. Who I really liked was Michael Jackson, you know. So with Michael Jackson, he was always dancing. So I already knew I couldn't dance early because I tried to do the moonwalk.
It just didn't work
There's
out.
always someone that could do something better than me. It wasn't my place. So when the rap came, just visually what I saw in these black men, it was something I've never seen before in my life. And it had rhythm, it had words, and it was expressive, and it dressed like cool. It was like something I've never seen in my life. It was like, yo, what is that black thing? I think I've got it. Just the black though, you know?
So one of the things I find really interesting about Slikour, and I've never actually heard you tell this story, so I don't know how true it is, but it's the idea that you were heavy into the battle rap scene, right?
Yeah.
And you had an encounter with Snaz the Dictator.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
I mean, we're always in the streets. The thing is that like Joburg and just Joburg is literally clicky. There was the J6. So we were the kids from the East End, the Kurulane. And we were not working according to the benchmarks of the guys in Joburg. I never knew you could write rhymes. I thought that everything was off the head, Catch me on a good day,
Is today a good day?
Nah.
Can we get
I need to have someone else like youngster sitting on the other side.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay,
And
sorry, I'm not youngster.
Yeah, and then we sharpen each other. You know what I mean? But so I never knew that people write. So I always just went off the head till someone literally showed me. It was like Inf's cousin or Boz's cousin, and he was like, "Yo, and this guy but was writing so long, but his raps weren't. Alright, I see you can write, but." So I learned though to write from a guy who I thought couldn't rap well though. You know what I mean? Shout out to Broken T. And just like everything, everyone that showed me something, I did it better than them, And
That's a flex.
No, I mean even like even Tabiso, he knows, everyone that actually either constructively criticized me, or told me something that made me look in. I always look in till this day, So, I mean, I just freestyled, and it was my thing. And we were in Joburg. There's a club called Trends. I don't know. Maybe this was the club because this was in Braamfontein somewhere. Maybe this was it because it still smells like it, But the thing is that, like, we're in a club called Trends. This guy, Amo, I knew Amo was like this icon. I used to listen to tapes of Amo, And if you come to the Amo Nation, it was like, yo, this Amo was like this guy. He was Drake, Yeah, Shangan. So, Amo literally like, he called me up on stage. I'm not knowing, I'm getting in a Joburg beef that I don't know nothing about. You know what I mean? But Amo literally calls me up on stage like, yo, these kids, blah, blah, they dope. And Snaz is like, who the fuck are we, So he comes in with y'all, Snaz, he starts rapping, he starts doing his shit. And I don't know what I said, but Amo Tabi, so they always remind me of this line, and it's like a whack line in my head, And they like, yo, Slick, you are like, so I am the sperm, and you are the egg, or something like the egg, the sperm, or he's the sperm, and I'm the egg, or something about being fertile. And they were like, yo, when you said that, you just killed him. I'm like, that shit sounds stupid, though. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That shit sounds stupid and cheesy. But what it did, though, I think Squatter Camp people started speaking about Squatter Camp. So, we kept on saying Squatter Camp. There was no Slick, there was no Smacks, people started finding out who we are. So the name was always Squatter Camp. So by the time that we even started making music, the name was always Squatter Camp. We were always marketing it. It's like, what they say with marketing, it's like if you keep on pushing the same message, literally people start going. So we were never individuals. It was always Squatter Camp. So firstly, there's 2-3 of us, there's 11 of us, but we always Squatter Camp. That's always what it was. You know what I mean? We really only started being called individuals when we went through the mainstream, like, oh, okay, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So from what I understand, Squatter Camp wasn't always 7 guys.
Yeah, yeah.
So
it was 11.
So break down to us like how the actual formation of Squatter Camp happened.
Damn, we were. It was by default, and I need to find this default name. This default word means that you're not sitting there saying we are a group. It was organic. It was like life happened. Me and Smacks were friends. Smacks, me and me being friends, we kind of like built a little studio. I had already started like building the studio. I sold Smacks the studio dream, because he was an actor. So I was like, yo, the studio dream. And Smacks literally bought the dream and owned it, I don't sell it unless I think that you can own it, unless you got the potential to own it, And we got, like, I'm saying, like, everyone in the neighborhood literally came to my house to record, right? Like, literally, my mother would, and you shout out to my mother, my mother would literally allow every Tom, Dick, and Harry, I'm saying every Tom, Dick, and Harry, to come in her house, walk past the kitchen, get in the studio. I'm saying not rappers, guys who drink guaido, guys who are smelling of weed, guys who, like, my mother literally used to, and I think she was also compensating because she couldn't afford to take me to school, right, to tertiary. So she was like, at least this is what I do, so she didn't want to be in my way. So with that being said, even the squatter camp guys, we started choosing who should be in the group. With that, through friendships. So that's why Boza came with 4 people. We're trying to put Boza in his, no marang scheme. Okay, they're part of it. We're trying to put Sip in his from Alex. No marang repa no nanat. Okay, mle tonight. Your niche is from Leondel. Marang repa nenyo flaba like a scale. Okay, mle tonight. Infa literally was always around with me. He was more my friend. And like, Info was always like coming to my crib. I spent more time with Info. He started really producing at my house, doing a lot of things like that. So it was really like a bunch of friends and everybody was pulling in a friend. And then Mischief came through and he was like, Mischief was always like the guy who felt like an outsider. So we said, okay, no, Zwagala now, So we went from 11 to 12 people in the group and Mischief was in and out because, it was a confusing in rap that time, like 1 minute you accepted in this space, when the house guys or the quiet guys, whatever, accept you, it feels like it feels good because we don't even have our own community. So yeah. Mischief was going through both of those worlds, but he was always trying to find that, but can I still find some grounding here? Because he was with another group. I mean, and one of the other guys, what was it? I remember there was Sotemba and Justice. One of them passed away, I forgot what they called them as a group. But they were all like Zim cats, and they thought that Mischief was whack now because he's mainstream, so they kind of kicked him out. And we were like open, we're like, nah, Swagala Mischief, Swagal, Lungawar,
yeah. And he became the 12th member.
He became the 12th member.
And then eventually there was 7.
Yeah.
So before we get into the stuff that Squatter Camp did, how did you become Phantom Slikour?
There's a guy called Peter Lynch who's still in my circle, I used to do like S-curls and I mean, I know, listen, S-curl was the thing. That's how old I am, I just survived the perm generation. You know what I mean? Herman Mashaba. I just escaped Herman Mashaba. You know what I mean? With black like me. But I literally had these S-skills. But I couldn't afford to go to a salon, right? My mother, when we were going to a salon, 5 rand, 8 rand, whatever the case be, So there was this thing called it was like I think they called it, it was a white thing that you could put in your hair. And you could comb your hair, whatever it is, you could comb your hair till your hair literally curls. You know what I mean? So I would comb my hair and they were like, no, man, So I used to do the sides for too long and bezlala, on some, shoe, straight hair. And then I'd comb the bit here on the top and then the curls would be here. So when I'd be playing basketball, Peter literally would always, Peter used to be a rapper who tried to be a lawyer and who went back to being it's kind of confusing. So Peter would literally always come to the basketball court and be like, you slick, and I was like, damn, okay, slick. And then I just put in Phantom because, I just Keith Murray. There's something about Keith Murray. I just needed a rap name. Phantom was just the rap name. Then I dropped Phantom because I was Phantom Slick. I dropped the Phantom because I felt the Phantom was made up. But I feel that all my success has always been triggered by people who saw something in me. And Slick was something that was started in Leondale, and everybody in Leondale started calling me Slick. So I was like, if anyone had to tell me where this name comes from, it's a community that gave me the name. So when you see the Slick on live, when you see the site, the business, it's a community that gave the name, you know? And I wanted to carry that versus me making it up like Phantom. Phantom, I made it up. You know what I mean? I was letting the universe work and I kept it like that.
That's dope. So as the 7-man group, right, you guys put out this tape, or you created a tape, right? And then someone said, why don't you guys have a CD instead? So was this squatter campaign? You remember?
Yeah, it was probably it was quite a campaign because the next thing was Cut and Join.
Yeah.
And Tabi Sokhati was like, yeah, I need you. Now, Tabi Sokhati, you know, I just impressed this guy. Now, he's like Ammunition's manager, right? So he's like, yo, he's like one of the guys who's in the in circle in Joburg. So, he's like, okay. When he picks up my phone, it's like I'm speaking to Puff, right? So Tabi Sokhati literally like is on some. And you see, they're my OGs, right? You know, I gotta keep it real. They're my OGs, you know. So even though now they like, I'm Abuchi string. I know he's here. I'm just taking shots. I'm just taking shots.
Can we not call people G-strings?
I know he's here.
Cannot
I'm
be
just
a thing.
taking shots. I'm just taking shots. But he's my OG, and like, you know, so Tabiso, I play him this tape, you know, and Tabiso basically like he can show you this. Like, yo, okay, admiration, and at the same time, reverse and tell you something he doesn't like, and you're like, yo, are you like the same guy, you know? So I'm playing him this tape, and he's like, yeah, I hear he's like, man, but there's the hiss, you know, the quality is, you know, he basically says that it sounds shit, you know? Now remember, I literally caught a taxi from Leondale to Joburg to Norwood to go meet up with him, for him to tell me that my tape is shit. I've got the energy of, I want to just play this guy. Remember, back in the day, rejection was a couple of taxis. Today, KO can just retweet and say, your shit is whack, tell you more shit. You know what I mean? Back in the day, you had to get a couple of taxis to get a KO response. You know what I mean? They knock you the fuck out. So, excuse that. And so Tabiso literally told me that, and I was like, fuck it. I went back. I took it like everything. I take everything personal. But one thing I've learned, even in my personal relationships, is that where's the problem with me? You know, I find reasons to say sorry. You know, versus me being defensive. So I find the reasons to say sorry because I try looking me. I don't just say sorry if I don't understand. But if I try to see that, okay, I know I got no filter. I know I make mistakes. I know I say a lot of shit also that I don't remember. So Tabiso literally told me that shit, and I went back home and I was like, how do I fix me? How do I fix this? So the movement of moving to a CD was me going back to the group saying, okay, we got a studio. Now remember, we built a studio. Tabiso doesn't even have the studio, right? But he's still critting. You know, so what the mind normally says, it goes, that nigga's a hater. But I knew that, okay, maybe he doesn't know the work I've put in. But that's the problem. A lot of people literally live their lives based on, but I've put in so much work. If you're the only one that knows you put in the work, someone else that receives the end product.
So it's like an entitlement thing. Like people are entitled, like just because I worked, I have to get it.
You know what I mean? But like, I knew that this guy like kind of gave me props. You know, there's a little bit, he's got a soft spot for me somewhere, but maybe he is telling me a truth, you know? So I worked on it, and that literally became the Cut and Join mixtape, which had Rao Rao Manyesa album, which had Rao Rao Manyesa, and was us discovering that vernacular rap and us breaking and and Tabiso then aspiring to work with us one day at Gallo.
Came full circle.
Full circle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So Squatter Campaign, then Cut and Join comes out 2002. 2003, you guys sign with Gallo. At the time, like, can you remember what the musical landscape was like? Because you guys come from battling people in clubs. You come from East Rand. Like, it's a different kind of world to be signed to a major. So what was it like during those times?
I mean, I'm always the wrong guy to ask that question. Because for me, I never see what's happening. I'm always in what is in your head. So, and this was the thing with Squatter Camp, that like I would say things like, and I need to, because you know Kanye West, like sometimes he's unstable and I got my issues, but I say Kanye West said something that really resonates in my life. I sometimes speak like it's just me and you. You know what I mean? So the rest of the guys saw everything that was happening. I was still trying to make the song what it can be. I was still believing that, more artists need to come in. I was still believing that it can't be just one rap group that is important. You know what I mean? So I was feeling like there's something incomplete. So one thing for sure, there was no rap. You know what I mean? And we were like, the rappers it was really like spaced out. There was no rap. H2O came in later on, and Outrageous came in later on, where they were almost like playing the game that we were playing with a group like H2O, although they had everything else with regards to rap, right? Then Pitch Black Afro came through. Then, you had your Pro Kid, but there was nothing happening, per se, that there's a rap industry or rap community. So we were still working with people who were like, let's try it, So
You were the like guinea pigs.
we were the guinea pigs, and that's and like its history keeps repeating itself that way in different spaces in my life. So there's no industry, but I don't remember a lot because the best guy who's got the best mind, Smacks goes, yeah, that's so and so. Like, don't you remember? And I was like, because I was so consumed, and like a part of that is that, like, let's say Boza, like Upoza, like would be the nigga Osbonayo, right? So Boza was like the typical hood nigga where in the kumbi we sitting, and like people like Boza, and Boza sitting there with her, and all of us in the kumbi like, nigga, what the fuck? You know what I mean? I'm the guy that in interviews are like, I sleek.
Just pause, yeah.
Or like they're like, hey, Shanganil Khalil, you know what I mean? Flabber literally like just sits quietly and eats his full chicken, and he has his full chicken in the car. He's sitting there in the back, and then he goes, and then the full chicken kills him, and he can't finish it, and he goes, okay, my chen, so we're like, nah, nigga, you can't finish that shit. And Nish is like the instigator, always sitting in the corner. Inf and I think Inf and I were friends. I just don't know what happened. But like, I'm Inf's godfather's.
Infa's kid's godparent.
You know what it means,
I get you. I got you.
Maybe this is why we're not cool. You know what I mean? I can't say it right. But till this day, I don't know. He's a guy that I don't know. But he turned on all of us. You know what I mean? And I still don't know why. But for me personally, also, I'm like, yo, it's almost like that painful thing that you don't think of. So even though we talk tough, but like it is. And who else? Smacks was like my partner. He was my yin and yang. I saw the vision. Smacks literally make it come to life. And yeah, and Boza was the DJ. Out just the guys, Majaivan, Schema. Boza was our PR in the mass market. We got Diploma, Nabo Robi, Nabo Spoo, and all those guys. He was like our PR. He was like when everybody goes, yeah, this Squatter Camp is grand. It was because Boza would literally sit with the Kwaito guys like he's one of them. You know what I mean? So that was really the dynamic in the group.
Yeah. So then 4 years ago, we wake up to this news that Flaba has passed away. So where are you when you hear this news and what goes through your mind?
I was so they must have been with smacks the night before, you know. Obahlale bathanda izinto, you know. I was at home. I got the call like at 4 o'clock in the morning. It was 4 4 in the morning from his brother, and the whole house woke up because I cried like a baby. I cried like a baby, and my kids are still small, so they don't know what it is and what it means. So they still like teasing me about it. You know, like remember when Baba was crying. You know what I mean? But like I woke up, it was a rude awakening. You know, I cried in the kitchen. I sat down. I just never understood it. You know what I mean? Um, and yeah, I never understood it. You know, I still don't understand it. And you know, I'm seeing what people are saying with Nipsey, obviously, and they're like, you know, obviously guys from the States, not everyone else
And
who's
DJ Spoo?
yeah. But he is who's reporting, please. He's an ambassador. Let's leave him.
He's representing
Yes,
us.
yes, he is.
Okay.
Please,
Yeah.
yeah, delegated by the UN, the homie. You know, no, shout out to Spoo. He actually also called me like last week just to say, "Yo, I'm on the ground. If you want me to get you anything, let me know." So you know, he's doing the thing. He's connecting the dots. You know, so what happened though is that you know, I saw like this other guy from the States said, I can't even put RIP in front of your name. It was that's what I was going through. I was like, is this our dude? Is this what we've been seeing with all the other artists? Is this our dude? It was just hard, you know, and still it's hard to connect. But now you kind of accept, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. So obviously Squatter Camp won gang of awards. You are pioneers. Everybody loves Squatter Camp. But this is a slicker day. So we're going to talk about Bada Bing. We're going to talk about Cuesta. We're going to talk about all of that, right? That's still coming, so don't ask questions about that yet. Is there anyone who's got a question about anything we discussed? There's a mic that's going to come to Tsediso, and then we'll come to you afterwards.
Hello,
How are you?
I'm fine.
Ciao. So, one thing that, like, your relationship with Infa, and it's something that I've really, like, started to realize with a lot of older heads, you know what I mean? And it's like there are all these uneasy conversations that are not being had. And I'm just wondering, like, whether you guys have considered, like, as a group, like something like therapy or something, because y'all are, growing old now. But I'm not really keen on you dying before 40 and dying with all this shit in your heart. You know what I mean? Because I think that's a very important ground that you guys laid. So, like, I just want to know, just generally, like, our older heads thinking about, I don't know, man, like resolving the shit, not just letting it hang.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know what that's a question or a statement or, but whatever it is,
The
it's good.
question is, have you guys considered therapy or something else that will fix things between
Well,
you guys?
you know, Squatter Camp is invited like Schaba, you know, to have a conversation, and and um, and you know, he came through and we had the chat, and he was very dismissive and judgmental to all of us, you know. We said let's put our egos aside because we were not formed by Coca-Cola or by idols. We were not the pop stars. We were guys who had the same vision and the same dream, you know. It's like Schaba's late father would talk to me about like things that he felt about Schaba. I knew Schaba's little brother and all the issues they had. Schaba came to my mother's house. My mother would see Schaba going to school and feel bad that she can't afford to take me to school. You know what I mean? These are how tight the relationships are. You know what I mean? They definitely not like relationships, industry relationships. But I think I don't know what he's gone through, what he went through. But all of us, and I always go, when you hit the age of 28, 29, 30, you get this awakening in life. Or when you get like a child, you get this awakening and this consciousness, and like energy starts becoming a very important thing, and you start choosing what energy you want to be around. And I think that's what he was trying to communicate with us. But with him trying to say that, I think he was very judgmental of us, and I think he was also neglecting the fact that we've also kind of grown and we have a certain energy, and we don't have to come together as squatter camp to rap. We don't have to come together and say, yo, why don't we just do something for the fuck of it? We don't. But we're saying we the only guys we know who have been friends with each other ever since we were young, small teenagers in our early, as kids. And what's life about? Life is about getting old and still having fun with the people you're having fun with when you're young. Because most people can't say their friends are alive when they were young. Most people can't say they're around their friends just generally because of whatever happened, whether it's career, whether it's life, whether it's death, whether it's sickness, whatever. But here we are, the only guy that left us is Flabber. Here we are. We have a chance to still have fun and work together and be in studios. And if we get booked for shows, go perform. We still have that opportunity. We ain't trying to be like, Squatter Camp's got a big comeback, or we rappers now. We trying to say, but we really love making music and just hanging with each other and just talking shit. So I think it's that fundamental where I don't know, maybe Chava like literally never felt he was part of that energy, because in squatter camp I was never a part of it. I never agreed with anybody in squatter camp, not one person. Me and Smacks would get along when we together, but once he's sitting with everybody else, I was always the outsider. You know what I mean? And Chavo would at least go, yo, Flabber here and whatever, but he says Flabber knew what he was going through, but Flabber would be with us, and he'd be like, "What the fuck is going on with Chaba?" You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think that I think it's deeper than rap. It's deeper than squatter camp. I think something deeper that we don't even know. That I think he really needs to go to the therapy, because we're not his enemies. We're his brothers. Like if we get a call today, just close it. If we get a call today that something happened with Chaba, I can bet you everybody will be at Chaba's house today, in the group.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have a not deep question?
Yeah, I have a deep question. Sure, Slikour. So, as a group, right? How do you guys now go from we just doing music for fun, and then now you guys start making money, and you guys have to split it? How did you guys now change and become businessmen instead of just artists and like creatives?
I'll answer that question in a simple sentence. It's like you literally like an intern. You get a full-time job, you get a salary, you decide whether you're gonna be an employee or start your own thing. It's the same mentality. Whatever guys do with their money when they're successful, whether it's through creative, it's the same as, creative is just a job you do and you love. An accountant must love counting. It's just straight up. A nigga that's doing architecture or construction must love it. It's the same thing as a guy who loves being a creative. And you can love it and be a worker, or love it and be a boss. It's just up to you. So it's really the same thing. There's no difference to it as anything else.
Dope. So I'm going to take one more question in this section because we do need to move on. What's your question?
In this whole thing, you talked about like the seven guys, never talked about Relo. So how does Relo fit into Squatter Camp? Was she a part? Was she a part of it, or was she just a feature all the time?
I mean, it was featuring Relo. You know what I mean? That's how it was. She was just always like there at the studio. She had her own car. She she had a Taz. She was independent. No one was giving her lifts. this is one of the squatter camp guys who answered this. No one is giving her lips to come to the studio. She really wanted to make her own music, and the fact that like she just jumped on a song like Umoya, like I said, everyone like the name of the song was actually Umona, and that's when we were like starting to feel the hate in the game because we get everyone in the game thinks they hate them when they get successful, you know. And I knew that I don't want to be that guy because one day, and this is how we changed Umoya to from Umoya, well, Umona to Umoya. I said to Sil, man, ain't nobody hating nothing. We ain't even that big. Just do Umoya, That's what's gonna work. And then Rita would be there to go, Umoya. And we're like, oh, okay. And she'd be here, she'd be there. So she'd appear all the time. And she was independent. She literally bossed herself into being part of the group. And we welcomed it in. It was that initiative. And now when Flabber passed and we're like, yo, man, fuck this featuring Relo. Now you're part of the group. That's the story behind Relo.
Dope. So that's actually a great segue into this section. Because as a solo act, 2005 comes out and you bring out the Ventilation mixtape. So was that a nod to Umoya? Like, was it a breathing thing? What was behind Ventilation?
It was anger. It was anger. I called up Smacks one day and I said, I'm just so tired of these motherfuckers always saying I'm using the squatter camp name to get things or open things. Because all the time I use the squatter camp name, everybody eats. All the time I literally go and I sell us, everybody eats, So I just called up Smacks and we just finished the Bozza album. And I'm the one involved in the Buzzer album with regards to getting the features, calling the people. Like we had a joint at the time with like Lira. Sorry, we had beats from a couple of. I'm literally like A&Ring the project after work because I had a day job. After work I'm A&Ring the project and they recording. The cover design, everything. Because I had a vision of creating this whole squatter camp business. And the squatter camp business will sign other artists outside squatter camp. That was my vision, right? And we'd all benefit from it. It'll be like a holding company, whatever it makes, we'll all benefit from it. That was my vision. Then Bozza literally must have spoken to Flabber and, when people literally like don't know what's happening, but things are happening, and there's a lot of work and money being spent for them to happen, and they don't ask, and they just go off I sense this is what's happening, and I can talk about it because there was nothing happening, except doing the business. Bozza literally like the album is done, sleeve, design, everything. We got a release date also, contract signed with Gallo. We've signed a label deal, Squatter Camp, I think. Or Bada Ping, I don't remember. Album is gonna drop in a month or two, in a few weeks. Bozza goes, fuck it, I'm not releasing it. Whew. You don't understand. Whew. I mean, I was so mad at him. And when I said why, I remember because I used to work at Wits, I used to pick up papers for Xerox. I remember just calling him going, but why? And he was like, nah, because of 1, 2, 3, 4. You cursed out like the guys from Gallo. I said, whoa, bro. I mean, I cursed them out on my sleeve, but the album was already out. Shit, I was smart with my shit. But besides that, he just dropped it. And I just like 12 tracks. I don't know if you guys know the song. Yes, Superza. Inja Your Corner is me. That's our work. That's the build-up. He is next up. He performs after Pitch Black Afro, and people go crazy like it is Pitch Black Afro. He is next up in Squatter Camp. He is our next star, and he doesn't need Squatter Camp. Next up, me is doing well. We're getting everybody's fucking with Bozza. This is now the album that's gonna go boom. We are a business, and you are the leader, and you don't need the rest of us. And that's what we want. He says, fuck it, I'm not gonna do it. It shattered me. It broke me. And then the little talks within the group, whether it was Flabber, whether it was whoever, Nish, whether it was just the little talks in between. It was always like, yo, but we built this shit. I never charged anybody for a studio and said it's in my. We shared everything equally. It was just a management company that got their management shit so they can make them calls and do what they do. That shattered me. So with that being said,
That led you to ventilation.
I called Lebo one day and I said, I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of this shit. And I don't even want to be the rapper. I don't even want to be the front guy. I know that Flabber would kill it. I know that Bozza would kill it. I'm like, y'all, you just heard that verse from Nimza? I was overcompensating by releasing an album. I literally wasn't releasing an album because it was what I wanted to do. I was looking at all the other guys. I was looking at my brothers saying, I'm going to be behind this and do this. So when I released the album, I was at my weakest. Ventilation was like, it was almost like but I still want to work here anyway. So I just released it. It was really half-hearted, but it worked. It was a success. It was released out of a grudge. And that's what people don't know. It was a grudge release. I don't want to do this shit. I don't want to be traveling alone, performing. I don't. I like being around my niggas. That's me. But if the people you love cannot see that you love them, if the people you want to see great don't see that you want to see them be great, and then they try it on their own. Then Bozza did an album on his own that was shit. He knows it's shit. He did an album on his own that was shit. No build-up, no rate, nothing. We used our relationships with everybody to try and make everyone work outside us at the time. So by the time Smacks did his album, it's because it was just me and Smacks now, and I started Ventilation Productions, which had Ventilation Koza or whatever. I said, I'm leaving Bada Bing. I'm not fucking with Scott. I don't want nothing to do with Squatter Camp. I literally went and I started from zero with nothing. And I just had me, and I did an album that I featured guys that I liked, and that was it. And I had a DVD. You could see it was just overcompensating. I don't have enough confidence in myself to give you just a straight album, 1 to 10, because I never saw myself there. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that overcompensating led somewhere, right? Because then you dropped Ventilation Mixtape 2, which won a Metro for Umsindo. And then you dropped Ventilation 3, which was superstar studded and all of that. But it was also, it's 2012, right? You would think people are evolved and they listen to music. But you dropped this song, Blacks Are Fools.
Yeah.
And people lose their minds.
Yeah.
What were you thinking when that backlash happened?
So this is where we get woke, right? My son is just about to come out straight out the block, as in come out from be born,
I think we get it. We understand.
Yeah.
We got it.
So my son is about to be a real thing, and I start feeling like I have everything, but I have nothing. You know what I mean? I feel like I can pick up a call, make things happen. But I've got nothing, And I start feeling that I got to start living with purpose, It's like you can be great and you can give out great energy and do great things, and you might not know why. But I start looking for my purpose. I start looking at what I did. I said, how the hell did you guys do this? From where you come from, with your group, with yourself. I go, imagine if I started doing what I was doing with intention, with purpose, with longevity, with the objective to. I don't want to help when I've got 1,000 rand. It's okay, hey, here's 1,000 rand. But I already want to start from nothing with the thought of how am I going to help, you know? So when that happens, I listened to this whole album, this Ventilation Mixtape 3, and it's a shit album. I hate it, you know? As there's so much things that were happening in my life. I did listen to it recently. There's 1 or 2 songs I like, but it's a shit album, right? So what the fuck am I even saying, you know? It's whack. But then this Blacks Are Fools, I hear what I'm saying. I'm like, whew. It was that spark. But it was written without even knowing purpose, without the purpose. There was no purpose. It was just, I can do it. You know, you can do anything in life. You know, but if you don't have purpose, people go, when they tell you, you're good. And then all of a sudden, I was like, what if I actually did something with this song? 2 years after the album is dropped. Now, at that time also I have nothing. I've stopped making music. My son is born. I'm not with the mother of my child. And the biggest thing that's fucking me up is how could I have all these things and be so successful, but I can't just like live with my son? It's like, you got all these things that are not even related to you. It's not your blood. You can be on TV, you can make money, but you can't have your blood living with you, you know? So I feel this emptiness. And then I go, yo, I'm gonna fix my life. This is when as a dude, and I say this because, people go, you can't speak like that. Like, as dudes, we fuck up. As dudes, we mess around because of our egos or because we think we superstars. We play with girls. We do a lot of things. It's me picking up my phone to every girl that I think I still have a contact with saying, I'm sorry. I'm cleaning up now. I'm so cleaning up. I'm cleaning up from even all my fuck-ups. I'm sorry. I never meant to make you cry, but tonight, and some of it is so dated. The girls go, what you talking about? I'm like, yo, you remember that? See ya. Come on, man. You just young and shit. Okay, I just wanted to clean it for myself. Cleaning up my life. I want to be purpose-driven. I want to be a voice that makes a difference, really. So it's all the girls, it's everyone that I feel like I've done wrong. It's just cleaning up. And then I wake, and I'm living at my mother. Fortunately, I built a house for my parents in Greenstone. So it wasn't like, we like Kaya's like, it was like, nah, niggas, I'm going back to the house I built. My name, nigga. So I fell off in stature, social stature. But now I wake up every morning and my mama be there and some, you know what I mean? And I'm in my 30s, it's like, and I'm like old in late 20s. I'm going back home. I'm cleaning up my life. Because home, I realized this is where the dream was born. At home, I had this love that just never stopped. It was this love that literally like never questioned me. It was this love that let me rap when every other kid was doing something else. So now I'm under these two people, my pillars, my mother and my father. And now I start finding that I don't need to be cool. I want to make a difference.
That's 2012, right? So that's about maybe 4 years after Kwesta has started being a professional rapper. So how did you meet Kwesta, and what made you and Sugar Smacks want to sign him?
Kwesta came to me through some other guys who said that they manage him, who were trying to be all protective. I don't know what was happening there, But after all my traumatization with Squatter Camp, I never wanted anything to do with anyone. I heard this nigga was dope. And JJ Sessing was on Metro FM now. He's doing well in his life. He used to stay with me and he used to tell me that that we pay. He used to say he'd pay half the rent. He still owes me, and nigga ain't paid me for shit, But he my nigga. He's on Metro FM. He's building houses now. He's like, yo, Slick, don't you wanna get involved. I'm like, nigga, why don't you just pay me the rent you owe me from North Cliff? Okay, my nigga, you know? But that's it, you know, the spirit of accommodating and always being hospitable is something I got from my mother. But and so Jay, even if he never paid the rent, he was still my nigga. Yeah, I still live with you, that we good, you know. When you are calling Metro FM and you ask a man shit, ask that man when he gonna pay my rent, you know. So Jay literally like comes to me, and Jay literally, I mean, I know I'm talking shit about him, but he was like a good guy around me at the time. He keeps on going, yo, Slick. It's like when I was broken because of squatter camp, Jay would literally remind me of who I am, you know what I mean, and what I can do. So he'd be like, yo, Slick, you gotta sign this kid Questa. Call him in, man. Call him in. Jay's a sneaky guy, vele. You know, he's that guy who like literally likes to kind of give you the problem and go, duck, you know. So we call Questa in, we get the music going, and boom, Jay literally like Questa starts working, and my big thing, I remember Questa always like saying, yo, you gotta have more personality. You gotta talk a bit more. You talented. You got all these things, but you
Because
got.
he was Mr. Cool.
And he wasn't even Mr. Cool. It's a nigga from Katlehong who literally came into this world of lights. You know, it was like light. It was like, and he never knew, like, okay, his personality is quiet, right? But like, when you don't know whether, should I be like the guy who signed me, Smacks, Slikour, should I be like them? When you come in, you also like a little bit like not sure how you should be. So Questa goes through a lot of that because he's got two strong personalities around him, right? And then he's got Younger, and who's literally Younger's a bit like, you know, Younger also was Younger Chief. He literally sneaked into my life also because he said that he wants to. I was always going, just go to school. But he kept coming to the office, and then he said he wants to be a graphic designer. Then he said he wants to be a videographer. And then, so you had guys like Young around him who were his age and would almost like translate how you could be like us because they were around us for longer than him. And Nota, a madcap who's literally hasn't grown in the ghetto for a while, he's got this for a minute. Nota's confidence is almost like his ignorance at time, you know what I mean? And it's also like his strength at time. His ignorance is also strength at time because Nota's just like bombards everything, right? So this guy, Questa's like lost in these strong personalities from the top to the guys that work with us. And he literally like, Melanie Ramji, like one day comes up to me and he goes, yeah, I was with your mans the other night, you know, and he don't greet. He ain't greeting. Why ain't he greeting him? He's just sitting there in the corner. And I'm like, I'm trying to go to Mel. He's not like that. He's not that superstar, like guy who's like, he wasn't being arrogant also, you know. Then I went and at it and I said, Questa, you gotta be like, just be a part of the, you know what I mean? It's that thing. So now I don't know whether Questa, this thing's gonna work. I think we get Questa, before he even had an album, I think we got him like 36,000 or something like that from a campaign we did. And that was a lot of money in 2006, you know what I mean? No album, he's just like the nigga. We took him on a national tour and we paid him also for it, you know? And I said, Questa, go take this money and go to school. And by the way, what we did before we even signed, when we decided to sign Questa, we went to Questa's mother's house and we had a chat with Questa's mother, who I got to see at the wedding again. But then when he made money, we went back, we said, Mama, nah, imali, umfana makayofunda. Ufunde kuphi? Uvele waba ne-base stronger, you know? But yeah, and then he, as is, Nota Younger saw everything that Smacks and Slick did. By the time we went our separate ways, Questa, Nota, Younger went together. Everything they did replicated Bada Bing. They just did it bigger, they just did it better, and the time allowed them. They even did things that we were planning, but the industry wasn't ready for that, you know what I mean? And they taken it a step further, you know? So I mean, and now we know Questa's personality is chilled. But in this industry that's like forcing you to be what you want, what it wants you to become, he's literally like hasn't changed. That's who he is. You know what I mean? So yeah. So I mean, I think that's just the thing. You know, you can't. One lesson I learned from Quest is that some people are gonna work in their way if they just keep on doing their thing. You know what I mean? You can't always try. You must always be like AKA. You must always be like Casper. You must always be like KO. No, be you. Be you, but be. I said, if you could be 100% what's in your conscious, you live that in with conviction, man, Donald Trump just became the president.
It's a lot of consistency, right? Like, and a lot of conviction.
I tell you.
So it's dope that was a happy breakup, right? Like they went on and did Rap Live. It wasn't a Facebook breakup. Do you guys remember Slikour breaking up with someone on Facebook?
It's a good thing my wife said she's got to take care of the kids today. They won't like me talking about this.
So I'm not going to grill you about the Facebook thing, right? People have been broken up in worse ways. But what I do want to know about is...
They treating me like Mambincha in the streets.
I don't know about
That's how they were treating me like in 2009. You know.
But so here's the thing. So if you don't know what the Facebook saga is, this guy over here was dating your girl Beam. And
allegedly.
Okay, allegedly, because now he's a married man.
Not allegedly. I was about Facebook allegedly.
Okay,
yeah,
that's cool.
And I just want to put it straight for the record. Me and Bananga are cool.
We know. We saw the video. You're mad cool.
Yeah, I just want to put it out. It's just that, you know, when I talk about it, everybody goes, because now people, it's like she's become this superstar. And I always talk about it like, I talk about my simplicity because I've been simple all my life. And because she was a part of that simplicity, people feel like I'm putting her down when actually she also comes from nothing. And if anything, you should be hearing my simplicity and hearing the simplicity she comes from. And you should be saying, for real, is that where she comes from? And this is where she's like selling a champagne for 400 Rand now. You know, while some people are drinking water, having accents, she's like, you know, she's making those type of moves, you know?
Yeah.
So when I talk about her, people are all like, all the beehive, yes, it's a beehive za, you know, wants to sting me. And I'm like, yo, I don't have beef with any one woman that I've been with in my history. Even the woman that that I was doing the wrong, I don't have beef with one woman. And not even one.
All right.
I just want to put that out
there. I get that.
Yeah.
And that's not where we were going.
Okay.
We have a lot of love for Bonang over here. But what I was trying to say...
I'm speaking to the bees Hive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to talk about is this video of you interviewing her, right? And in the video, you guys talk about how you were instrumental in getting her a deal with Legit, the clothing store. So a lot of people now know you as this branding and marketing and whatever guy, but back then it wasn't like you were wearing that on your sleeve. So tell us a little bit about that deal and how you were able to make it happen.
It was all purpose. I mean, it was all driven because you know when you're great by default at things, but you don't know how to literally package them things, you're just gonna be great by default. You don't want to get anywhere. With Bonang, with what we did with Sprites, when, like I said, with Questa, when you got that 30,000 whatever check, you know, in 2006 or whatever, we used to laugh and just side note and go, all them up and coming niggas, even some of them got albums, they don't even have the money that you have. You know what I mean? But we were happy to pay. But like all those things for us to walk inside a Sprite building and go and literally say we don't know what marketing is, but we think we're doing marketing. You know, that was a balls. You know, that was a seeing more of yourself than what you are, right? And all that, you know, literally is was done without purpose. It was done because we can. Because we can. I mean, why is Pride spending their money there anyway? You know? Why? So, because we can. But when you start sitting on your own and with the legit deal, it was the same thing. I said this was before she was even going pop. This was, I think she was still going through she just started her first month on Live Amp. And I pulled a lady by the name of Glenda Mtimkulu, you know, and I said, she was working at Edcon at the time. This is what I do. I see things in people. And I said to her, Glenda, this girl, if you're going to run this campaign, you better run it with this girl. And Glenda was like, who is this girl? Siyabonga, man. I said, yo, Glenda, listen. This girl about to blow up. I ain't telling you I'm going out with her yet. You know what I mean? This girl about to blow up, though. Watch. And Glenda's like, she does her research because it's a corporate, you know, you can't just commit on a up and coming, you know, that you are not sure about because she was an up and coming. I have another meeting with Glenda. I literally like show her the things. Now this is when I start investigating about her. I start finding out that she was on TV already. But even Bonang's mind is not like she doesn't even get that what that partnership can mean. Do you know what I mean? She's not entrepreneurial as she is now, you know, but I see it. Like, yo, Glenda literally comes in and she meets Bonang, and I literally like almost like give Bonang like, so Bonang, this is who this is. This is how you go, you know, a little pep talk before you get in there, you know. She comes in, they meet, they talk, and then Glenda goes, oh, but you know, she's so nice, you know. This is me now, Glenda, me giving me feedback. I'm like, yeah, and watch the show on Friday also, you know, blah, blah. This is the background work I'm doing that I don't know whether she knows I'm doing this, right? A few weeks later, we get called in. I think the deal was signed in Joe. We got the contract, which took the deal. We talked about the deal there, the percentages, etc., etc. And after that, the model of the It Girl was almost like our generation's It Girl, because you know this shit ain't new. I always say you can't take away from ladies who've been doing this before her, like Abo,
Nantle.
not even Nantle.
Before Nantle.
I'm saying, you know, Abu Basitan in them and all the Muslome, you know, Carol Bauer, you know. Yeah, you know, you can't take away. It's just that for their generation, they were killing it for what killing it was. But the beginning of what our generation's It Girl thing, literally, the blueprint starts kind of developing through Bonang. And it starts becoming like, you got to get to Live Amp, you got to get a deal with the company. You know what I mean? It starts becoming like the conversation to kind of be a success, you know? And that's how that deal works. She sold out, killed it, and Glenda came to me and said, all right. Said, watch me.
That's dope.
But what I want to say, that's potential. That was almost like my potential as an individual. I did that in my sleep. I still sold rap music. That was the side thing I did. And it had that type of impact. I was looking at the side things I was doing in 2011, 12, and I was going, wow. I said, what if I literally made these side things a main thing?
And we're going to talk about the main thing in a little bit. We're going to talk about Slikour on Live. We're going to talk about what the future holds for Slikour. But do you guys have any questions about anything we've discussed so far?
You throw a lot of shade. This is also truth, right? So in the generation we growing up now, the social media, truth is shade, right? And you just speak truth, correct?
That's why I don't tweet. Yeah.
How much trouble has all of this shade gotten you into?
A lot. I feel like 21 Savage, a lot.
One moment you remember that has been like a big, like, oh, damn, I'm in trouble. Like, what's the one moment?
I don't feel like, I never ever feel like I'm in trouble. I feel like I'm misunderstood. Because if I start feeling like I'm in trouble, that means that means that my heart was at the wrong place. That means I was being malicious, but I never say things to be malicious, right? So, but like, I guess like a lot of people receive me the wrong way. And that's why I even posted this morning, I said, I've been talking a lot and I know I'm going to get into trouble somehow. I need to shut up. So this is going to be like one of my last talks, in a while, unless they really paying me. That means they want me to talk shit. But like, I have a light, and I can empower and I can do so much that I can't let my mouth literally take away from the light and the power that I need to literally emit. You know what I mean? So I literally need to humble myself. That's why I've stayed back and I haven't said much. And I said, let me rather let my work talk. You know what I mean? I don't need to go, I don't need to talk much. Let me let my work talk. If I can apply myself in my work, if I really believe in it, I don't need to always say I did this or I pushed this or you know what I mean? Even though I do a lot, but like, but I don't remember. There's nothing, there's nothing. It's really that whole Facebook so-called thing, you know what I mean? Which was
The alleged Facebook thing.
Alleged Facebook thing. But and my friends go to me, why don't you post the shit that you told? And I'm like, I don't. My friends, the close people who literally hear what I say, my mind, they go, yo, people gotta hear this. And I go, that's a dangerous space to play in because it's a bunch of strangers that don't know where my heart is at. So that's why I don't mess around with Twitter, because Twitter doesn't have a vision of your heart. Instagram doesn't have show your heart. You know what I mean? It's just a bunch of words and everybody's trying to get clout, And I've been hot from my neighborhood. My neighborhood gave me a name.
Hey now.
I never needed to be my neighborhood gave me a name and I took that with me. And I used to say it even when squatter camp was, I said the industry needs me when squatter camp was hot. I don't want to ask for anything. Even in my family, I feel like I'm grateful that I've never borrowed money from maybe a business, but from any individual. Any individual, I've never borrowed money, like, unless, I forgot my wallet, some shit like that. But I've never borrowed money because I'm stranded. You know what I mean? I'm from a poor background. But I know that if God allowed me to make money from 21 through rap music and there was BVK, Prophets of the City, Black Noise, and they weren't able to do what we did, and they had just as much energy and as much passion, if not more, than we did. If God gave me the chance, that means that I'm from a poor background in a poor family, but God doesn't want me to be poor. I've never been poor, because all the time I put my mind to something, and we got to learn to differentiate those things also, because people go, now you're arrogant, because I'm from a poor background. But if you got the talent, if you got the mind, if you seeing the rest of your people in your hood, they just chilling, and you keep on driving for something and you don't have anything, you got wealth. You just got to keep on and convert into a currency. You know what I mean?
Can we get an amen? Do we have another question? Who's got the mic?
Yo, it's Max here from K1.
Yo.
There's a.
Why do K1 niggas all look alike?
Yeah.
I'm just the one that looks different.
There's a on your first ventilation mixtape, you say there's a track that you feature crooner. Lautikona, you quit your job and everybody thought it was a stunt. I just want to ask that, what was your thought process when you quit your job and went into music full time?
I was so when I quit my job, literally I was still in music. Squatter camp was popping. I was popping in the streets. I was still like Benghambang in Dix, and I used to work at Wits, Dorenfontein, for a company called Xerox. And I used to always I was the print guy. I was the printer guy. Magnanama paper. I literally take the papers there. I was earning 3,000 a month. And when I made my first 100,000 from squatter camp, I've never seen so many numbers in my account. So I had to tell my father, and my father literally had like taxis. So I told my father this, and my father's taxis were all going past. So my father was among shining on, and he's like on some, yeah, no, mhlawumbe uma ungafaka le mali nemateksini yabona kanjani kanjani. Now remember, I don't have a car. My first car was a taxi, you know. So what I do, I go to my dad. This is my first negotiation in life. My dad is not gonna rip me off. I say this because it's key. My dad was not gonna rip me off intentionally. He could have by mistake if I never negotiated with him. But people get in deals and they don't remember, they don't know that the deal you in is the deal that you negotiated or never negotiated. So with my father, my negotiation with him was like, I ain't gonna be at the taxi ranks, but I'm gonna handle the money in the account. My father never even had a bank account. He used to put his money in a blazer. Nje, all stacks. You know, and he was like one of them, I'm sure got the figure the ranks, njengo KO on some hello, you know. So my father literally like was like I negotiated with him. I remember we were driving just from Auckland Park at Wits, and I was in the car, passenger seat, and I said, "Look, I got 100,000," and he said, "Yo, buy a taxi." And then I negotiated. I said, "I'll hold the money, and I'll open the account, and I'll do this." And he said, "Okay, go." This is one taxi. And then like 3 months later, then I bought a car. And then, but I was still working for Xerox, earning 3,000, right? Every month, right? And by the way, while I've got a taxi, before I get a car, I'm still walking around Dorenfontein. I even got jacked, right? So 3 months later, I get a car, and I'm still working at Xerox. I get my second taxi. I'm still working at Xerox. One night, obviously, it must have been a night. I get a nightmare. That adds up. So I get a nightmare of me being at Xerox, and I'm old, and I'm unhappy. Because what I used to do at Xerox, and I used to, during lunch, I would go, I'd find the couch in Yolala, you know, all the time. Listen, I'm a rapper, I'm famous, I got taxis, Mara, I'm still, you know, I still know, I'm still poor. You know what I mean? I can't get away from I don't have anything. You know, I'm literally earning close to 60,000 a month. You know, I'm 21, 22 years old, plus the 3,000 from there, you know? I'm still going to this job every day. The only thing that made me leave work is that nightmare. I went to my boss the next morning. I said, his name was Solly. I said, Solly, thanks for everything. And then I did all my personal finance things, insurance, because it was all in the company. I said, thanks for everything. I think it's time to go for me now. That dream said leave. And that dreamed open ventilation. And just when that dreamed open ventilation, it opened that call to labor to say, I'm tired of this squatter camp shit. These niggas, you know. And that started ventilation. That ventilation opened up the lessons of what I learned over time and all these deals that started happening, that were happening in default, which like, the Bonang thing is something that I could have done for a squatter camp in another relationship, you know what I mean? And that's what I was doing for squatter. Me and Smacks, that's what we were doing for squatter camp. But it's like I had a skill to do this thing, but I never knew, you know what I mean? So it was the nightmare, you know. Amadlos will speak to you, and I totally believe in that like my whole life has been guided, and I'm grateful for that.
Dope. I'm going to take one more question before we move on into our last section.
You talk about not talking publicly anymore, right? And I guess I'm one of the lucky people that have had the opportunity to call you, share knowledge with you, and I get a lot of insight and guidance. And I feel that if you stop, right, who is going to then help pass the knowledge on? Because fuck it, for whatever they take, you know, like a wise man said, bite your tongue for no man. A closed mouth don't get fed, right? And I mean, I've always lived by that personally. And I think that having watched your story from, funny, it's crazy because we're in this building. If I'm not wrong, this could be the same building where you battled snares. And that's the first time I saw you in my life. It was right here. And you at the time, you took out the best freestyle artist in Joburg, and you know. So anyway, long story short, watching that rise and you building Bada Bing, ventilation, Slikour on live, I do think that if you stop, you will deprive us of a lot of knowledge and insight that has to be passed on to the next generation and then next, and even your generation, people that might want to learn. I know personally, I learn a lot of shit from you because I call you, we talk about a lot of things. So, you know, I would just like to implore you not to stop talking.
I'm formalizing. I'm formalizing the delivery of the information. I've also learned a big thing. You can't try and make a change, but you're always hurting people in that also. So that's also like maturity. If you really want to make a change, also change yourself. I mean, I might see things in a positive light, but I'm also a broken person, as in, like, I need to work on myself. I also got the devil sometimes hanging around the block. You know what I mean? But I appreciate that, bro.
Dope. So you already had ventilation.coza.
Yeah. Shout out to Skipan in the
and
house.
then that kind of fizzled out and went away. And then you came out with Slikour on Live. So tell us a little bit about how you came to Slikour on Live and what you learned from ventilation.coza that helped you with Slikour on Live.
I definitely never learned anything from ventilation.coza because it was by default. When things happen in your life and you are not even consciously putting in any effort. It's like best rapper. We became the biggest group. We sold rap. It's like it's a consistent things. You can't be woke. I never learned anything. But one thing I learned though is that I was too famous to have a website. I was running around. Younger was literally like losing footage and all that shit, like bad footage, not editing, taking 2 months to edit a 1 minute video. Them niggas be crazy. You know what I mean? It felt like it was tiring to do that thing. But I just always, look, and I just want to give a shout out, what people, because we had a very interesting conversation. Let's not erase history. Because now we're getting into Slikour on Live. And I noticed this a week or two ago. The ecosystem that I'm building with brands, music, platform. We just built our music studio now, which we're gonna open up for free for artists, but like brands will pay for it to do whatever. This whole ecosystem I've built is something that there's a bunch of guys who are already forward thinking doing this in 2006, 7, 8. And I only thought about it like 2 weeks ago when I was like, nobody doing this shit. Outrageous.
Rage.co.za.
Yo, rage.co.za, Zeno, Maria McCloy, Kutlwano, those guys were so ahead of their time, and it's almost like if they had built what I'm building or were doing what I'm doing now, it could have been so much more bigger. But I always go, great ideas also need to marry great timing. Some of us, I always go, imagine, and how I literally relate that is that if you think about your grandparents, whatever, and you think about the power that they had, like these ideas to come sit here, to have a, I know you're going to be like, you'll understand this. You have a woman, like, and I'm saying, in the 60s, 70s, you have a woman who's called a man to come stand, and that man must come here and talk. The woman has summoned me to come talk. In the 60s, you could have had the power to do that, but the world said, you can't. Not only because of racism, because of sexism, because of everything. We are so fortunate to be in the time we are in, because even our ideas when we were free, we're not ready to be freed. I got ideas today that I know that like I'm free, but they're not ready to be freed. I tell guys that if you only believe guys who are doing something for more than 3 years, because the same thing for more than 3 years, whether you are out there with the camera shooting, if people are doing things for more than 3 years, and I'll shout out to Kipan also because they've been around for so long, ups and downs, you only know how people are committed to something if they marry to their idea forever. And that's why it's easy for me to come to this, because I know you from the days at the start when you're an intern. This is who you are. You know what I mean? This is what you do. You are literally like now consciously, because when you as an intern, you were like, okay, cool, I'm a writer, I study, da, da, da. You were getting in the writing world. Now you are consciously formalizing it in your perspective. And that's why, I'll always support like people who can. That's the next level of Vogue versus like younger kids who are, which is okay because we were all there, who are doing things because they got potential. When you
Right.
formalize it, you go, boom, that's the opportunity.
Cool. But I'm going to bring that back to how you then decide on Slikour on Live. Because you said you were too famous to do ventilation dots, right?
I was thinking that there's greener pastures on the other side. Obviously, I wanted to get out of music. Like I said, I knew I can't work in this industry because it's dishonest, and even fans don't have minds of their own. And it's almost like when you are in a space where you know you always have to be tough because the conditions ask you to be tough. But meanwhile, you are kind. Meanwhile, you're generous. We wouldn't be where we are if I wasn't none of those things. If I wasn't understanding, if I wasn't patient, if I wasn't humble when I'm told that like that shit is whack, I wouldn't be here. So you are all these qualities, but you're in an industry where the conditions force you to be the opposite of that every day. So I went to the marketing world, and then when I was in the marketing world as an employee at TVWA Open Field, and I was a partner also in those agencies, I said, yo, this world that I've been thinking that is not the world. I said, but I can't get back into music and make songs. I'm going back to the people that I'm saying, whether it's fans, industry, brands, I don't know. So I said, remember when you used to collect music in your bedroom and you have to have it in boxes and you'd literally share an album? Back in the day, this rap music wasn't accessible. It was like finding the Yeezy. That's how it was when you literally and you found a tape with the hiss. It's like it was limited. You couldn't find rap music. You had to. I used to, when white kids would be like, my hobby is this, my hobby is that. I don't have a fucking hobby. But my hobby was collecting rap music. So I literally used to collect rap music, and when I collected it, I'd literally share it with guys who were in the same space. So then our conversations would be like, that's how I got Smacks into it, because I shared the music, and that's how we kind of saw who we're gonna be a group with, So the same thing kind of happened now with Slick on Live. I said, why don't you, oh, that was international, why don't you actually write about this guy here is coming up, or this Casper guy, or this Ricky Rick guy, or this KO. Well, KO from Tear Gas, but that nigga is trying to do something solo. Okay, who's telling these stories? Because I know that they're gonna get in the same industry I walked in. That's gonna give them like 30 seconds, if 5 minutes, if you're lucky. And I said, with that being said, this is why we keep loving Beyonce, we keep loving Jay-Z, because we don't have enough platforms that tell our stories. So I said, how about I know these guys aren't big, but let me actually start telling these stories, uploading their music on the website, because I'm actually interested in them. I'm sure someone else is. And besides, I'm so invested in this culture. It just excites me that, it's existing even without me contributing. Oh, shit. After all, I'm not needed. But geez, I want to tell those stories. I'm not a journalist, but shit, we get a camera out, go do this. And that's really the heart of where Slick on Live came. It came from how about this greener pastures? I can't come back and rap, but I see that these guys are making this thing work. I want to tell that story. I want them to be the superstars, And that's how the Slick on Live thing started.
Dope. So obviously, Slick On Live has different facets, right? You have the balcony interview. There's certain features, but I think one of the dope things is it doesn't matter how famous you are, you can still get your music on the site, right? Whether it's through downloads or an article or whatever. But it also means then that the quality control is something we need to look at because your name is Slicker, your name is on the site, and if you're putting somebody on the site, you're effectively co-signing them. But if they suck, should they still be on the site? How do you navigate that?
Label always said to me, and Smacks now always speaks, said, just don't call it your name. Just don't have your name involved. That's how everything we got involved in. There's things that we involved in with Smacks that, like, we said, okay, as long as our name's not there. Because it goes, it's gonna go. And my thing was that I challenged myself. I said, I'm gonna call it the name, but I don't want it to be owned by me. So if I've got a rider, I stopped riding and my presence is not felt. So someone goes, I don't see you anymore on the site. Besides being busy, it's the way it should be. Because it shouldn't be about my cosign. It should be about a platform, a BBC, Channel O, BET. It should be a platform, right? To a point where I just do interviews because I'm trying to set it up for the time. Right now, a big thing for us is trying to get money for the different shows we have, and like, it's coming together so I can step back and let guys who do this shit do it. But I'm just filling in right now because I can't afford to pay everybody, so I'm filling in right now, So the idea with that is that I created a streets page where anyone can put their shit on. And then there's a page where we curate. So whether people go, they're gonna call like whoever's riding on the platform, whether whoever's worked with us, whether they're gonna call them, it's intentional. Because that means I've done something right, because people always used to call me, So you gotta shift the power. Because if you're the one that always has the power, you never grow. So you gotta let go and shift the power intentionally, with the hopes that where you're shifting the power, it will be used for the positivity and the intention that you want, right? Because if I'm always in the middle of it, it's gonna be exactly what you're saying. So the objective of building our businesses is that, of creating wealth, of creating money, is that we gotta shift power. You have to be the start. Like, that's what Steve Jobs did when he started, blah, blah. So investors came in and power shifted. Our work, and that's how you also nurture and make people better and make people see who they really are. Because when people start going, oh, it's Slicker's thing, but we know that person's the boss, the authority, or the one that will literally post it. All of a sudden, because someone wants to walk there, you just the name, but they know they gotta speak to someone else. So the point of progressive growth is shifting your power. You gotta know where your place is. Your place is, I gotta go, I put a chair, but I'm not gonna make you drink. I can't do this. Hey, you gotta drink it too. It gotta get to a point where you walk and you go, I'm gonna just pick it up and drink myself. The power's shifted, you just put it there. So we try and there's a problem with a lot of us in what we do. We try put the water, make you drink it, make you go accompany to your toilet to piss it, and then we want to go, yeah, I'm the boss. My whole movement, from even the people that I work with, and I'm hard on the people that I work with, my team, most of it is ran by women deliberately. My business is ran by women. I say my business is ran by women deliberately, not by me, because I shift the power, right? I shift the power to them. You gotta learn this. You gotta do this. You gotta do this. But but you have to do that. Because let me tell you one thing. I sold rap music. I did deals with clicks. I walked in clicks and did my own deals. I did deals. I am so far ahead with the shit. I'm just teaching you the small shit. Because once I can give you that power, you can leave my work environment and go, oh, that was my power. And someone else will give you more than what I could give you.
Yeah.
You
That's
know?
so dope. So we are officially over our time. So we're going to open up for the last time. Any questions? Doesn't have to be about Slikour on Life. Anything that you want to know. And if you've already asked the question, can we give other people a chance? Slikour will stick around for 5 minutes after, and then you can ask him a question personally. But is there anyone?
My question is, in all the industries you've been on, in terms of gender, are we from like the squatter till where you at now? Are we becoming more gender solid, or patriarchy still the bigger piece of this humble pie?
Sure. That's one hell of an English question. I answer you like this. I move with energy. You know? Ain't white people I ain't gonna fuck with. The white people that I'ma trust more than black people. Right? The guys that I ain't gonna fuck with, the woman I'ma trust more than I'ma trust guys. You know? For me, it's about, life is not about race, color. The progressive species is the species that knows that these guys are trying to fix the world. And that's gonna come in any package. So you need to pay attention to the people that are trying to fix the world. For me, I believe that's the progressive species. People that are gonna make a change, people who are trying to fix themselves. Like I say, I'm trying to fix, that's why I'm quiet. But I spoke for like 2 weeks. I saw that shit. I still need to polish myself. I watched my, hey, nigga, you need to shut up. So you gotta literally like find the species that is trying to make a difference. Because in the end, you are no better than the lion. You're no better than the elephant. You're no better than the ant. You are part of this world. You're part of nature. So don't you come here and start, and I'm not saying, I'm just saying, don't come here and categorize yourself on this, I'm that. Just fuck with the energy that's literally trying to make a difference in the world. If it talks to you. Hence, I don't get myself involved in politics because the energy is not trying to change my world, which is the creator's world. They want to leverage it, but they don't want to change it. Because if they do, they should have spoken to me a long time ago. I'm just saying.
I'm going to take 2 more questions, then we definitely have to close. I know you have a lot of questions, but you asked the question already, so ask him after.
I wrote my question down. I feel like you do more for kids that are into the culture and music than the Department of Arts and Culture, for example. And as kids, we want to work for Slikour on Life now and not Capitec and be bankers, for an example. Because we're creatives and this is the culture we love and we consume. You are the reference points now. You are the reference point now. How do we go about doing that?
Thanks for the question, man, and I appreciate the words. The reason why we where we are as a country from arts and culture is because people don't want to shift the power. And for me, I'm shifting the power with my only resource, the only resource I have, which is nothing. And even when I got investment in my business, I literally worked at a loss, for 2 years, and I needed to make it profitable. I still need to make the business work. So money plays a big part in it, and at times, I've got a big vision. But I start at home with the small things, incremental change. And incremental change, I've got a global vision. This year really for me was to really do start that. But I know that like I was saying to the cat from Andile from Skipan, it's time for me to hold on now. It's time for me to be aggressive now. It's time for me to have conviction now, to have more faith than I ever had when I started right now. Because it's time for the swing. The swing is coming for us to tell our own stories and for us to own the platforms that tell those stories and for us to open doors for creatives to come in who will be led by people who are not trying to by people who are shifting the power, And I try my best to shift the power. I'm not saying I got it figured out, but it's we need more me's who've got the power and who've got the money and who trying to change the world for what it is. You know, our politicians are trying to change the world, and that's why I'm going to go back to politics. As long as politics is driven by race, is driven by assets, and it's not driven by people who want to change, because that's the highest value or resource that you have. We're gonna have a problem. So I appreciate everything you said because that's what I believe. But it's a big dream. It's a big dream, and I'd be lying to say I got to figure it out. But I'm still struggling to figure it out. You know, to get there.
Cool. One last question.
It's a very important question. Sure, Slick. I just want to know that how when you went a lot like in your career, you've seen a lot of like contracting deals. So I just want to know that when you guys got your first deal as a squatter camp, how was that set up? Like, was it like individuals deals or like squatter camp deals? And also, I want to know that with that being said, compare that to how deals are set up today for the new generation artists, because South African labels are kind of like known for giving out deals that are not like, satisfactory for the artist. Yeah.
So we had a deal for the group, Squatter Camp, all seven of us. It was one deal. And then when I talked about the Bozza story, that's when we were doing a label deal. And so Bozza would be signed to the label, and the label will be signed to the major, you know. So that was the deal. But I think, we also need to be very careful with speaking about I mean, I know I said it on my interview with Ducci Coke Dope. I said, I'm going to drop a single and he's going to sign me, and I ain't going to sign to any major label. Fuck that. I know, that's just me talking my shit. That's me. I need to get in my pocket. But with that being said, though, we need to be careful of also color, of painting labels in one color if if we haven't read the contract ourselves, if we haven't got the right legal advice. We need to be careful of being a speculative nation instead of an investigative nation where we go find out the facts ourselves, because a speculative nation is a nation of consumption, is a nation that's driven by Twitter, is a nation that's driven by social media and by politics. The more we start investigating, the more powerful we'll become as a people.
Cool. So
I gave two questions, Helen. Why are you gonna be like this?
you're lucky I like you. We're literally gonna do two more questions.
You mentioned something about you moving from hip hop to an advertising agency. I'm in the deep house scene, and I'm breaking into the advertising space as well. So I wanted to find out, how did you actually break into that, find your space in it? Because I'm finding that advertising, marketing, and whatnot, it's run by old white people. They really don't get black people, and that is a space which I find myself in, wanting to tell the black stories within that space. How did you get to tell that story when you started working for these agencies?
I mean, like I said, I struggled when I was inside the agency. I had to create my own thing. And the thing is that when I talk about like YouTube, Twitter, we use those platforms. I'm just saying is that YouTube and Twitter are going to sell themselves better than I can sell my page on YouTube. You know what I mean? It's almost like they still a master, however you see it. But once you build your own platform, you build your own data, and you literally like kind of have your own audience. You can break it down. No one can sell it like you can sell it. So my only reason why I say that, I don't focus on the social platforms per se, is because I'll be sitting in a meeting with a big brand, and I'll be going, my YouTube page has got so many views and so many likes and so many this and so many shares, and they go, oh shit, dope, cool, man, cool. Then the guy from YouTube will come in and go, so I've got this page, I got the Slick on Live page, I got the Helen Herimbi page, I got the JR page, I got the Questa page, and then he starts selling the whole group. Who are they going to give the money to? to the guy who's literally showing them value across the board, right? So you got to start your own thing, even if it's small. Slick on life on digital is Paza. You know, I need to know what I am, so I know how to address my conversations. I'm Espaza, you know, and everything else is a mall. So sometimes I go to the mall so you can see me and you can come to my Espaza. I advertise at the mall, and then you go, oh, that's the Espaza. Oh, they got more products in this Espaza. That's how the digital landscape is. You got to know your place also. But if you are playing inside the mall, you have a space in the mall, and you're only like literally gonna be there if they put you in the front of the mall, if there's traffic in your mall, or if you buy, you know, you gotta pay your rent. If you buy to be seen, you know what I mean? So all those things are things, but these platforms are good because they're good for us to learn on how to being a mall. It's like the Nike store inside, like inside a mall, and then when you go into the concept store, like in a random place. So we like the concept store of the bigger ecosystem.
And speaking of the mall, please hit subscribe on my YouTube page. Do that.
Subscribe on the page. subscribe in the mall.
One last question.
Hello, everyone. My name is Solo, and I've been using the Slikour Live website for probably 2 years now, just to release my music and everything. I've been getting good reviews and everything. But then now, my question is, how do I get to the balcony? Not for only me, for only the other upcoming artists. I know you interview everyone that's already made it in the game and everyone, but then I think I don't know, this is an opinion or something, but then I think you should also cater for young and upcoming artists, you know?
Yeah. From a resource perspective and cutting and editing, we are in a space where it's a generation that's using data. The difference between me and any other television platform or radio is that whenever you get on my platform or consume any of my content, if you're not on a Wi-Fi spot, you're paying. So if I have a 15 or 20 minute interview with a person that no one knows and there's a resource that's been used, the reality is, how are we going to be able to justify that, like the data usage? So my feedback to everybody that asks me is that I always go, build your social traction. Show me your social traction. There's some things where we find guys and we go, oh shit, this guy is already like getting so much social love and engagement. They need this platform besides just being outside. We look at the mall. At the mall, we see how many people are stalking you. You know, that's what the data does. And then we go, you know, people would want to watch it. You know, I'll use an example. The kid that just won. I always forget his name because I even told him that his name is whack. You know, but Touchline. You know, I love him. He's a dope kid. He's from the East End, without a doubt. His energy is amazing. But Touchline, I literally had an interview because I saw he was babbling, he was coming, but I couldn't put him in a long ass interview. You know what I mean? So you gotta be considerate of the fact that we don't say no because we like, yo, it's because we know that people probably won't watch a 20-minute, 25-minute interview because we've checked the data. Another example, Big Zulu, we've never done anything with Big Zulu, right? But he's been on our number one since December, most downloaded, right? He did a spotlight, and that spotlight is approaching 10,000. All the content we've put out with Big Zulu, literally like is people are fucking interested in him. So that says for us, shit, we need to get Big Zulu quick for a balcony. And we are gonna do that. And we're gonna even we were thinking of doing a cover with because now we're doing a whole cover thing, you know, the kids are always the kids are gonna force you to do some shit and you're like, I don't have money for it. But nonetheless, you know, we were gonna have Youngster, we were thinking about getting Youngster, but then I called up Youngster, y'all gotta watch that Youngster interview. It's going to be an interesting black and colored conversation. We are really talking some real shit there on the side. I'm just punting that if you don't mind. But what we did with Big Zulu, we've said, okay, maybe we got to do a cover for Big Zulu. So we were like, let's just do an interview in JNJ, you know. But when we saw the traction, we moved from saying, okay, youngster's already getting all the coverage anyway. You know, he's already doing the covers. We're gonna be repeating. But damn, Big Zulu, no one is actually checking for him like that. And no one, unless it's the guys that know, but like he's fucking up the game and people are consciously spending their data on Big Zulu. They are spending data on Big Zulu. So we gotta literally create something with him. And that's how we make our decisions. It's never like a thing. Unless you have got a fucking dope song and we're like, yo, I know, people must hear this, you know?
Don't worry, Solo. I'm also waiting for my balcony interview. Nah, I'm there with you. But
We'll look
Slikour,
at the data of this interview.
thank you so much for sharing your story with us. And we know that it's far from over. And over here on Imbali Live, we always give you literal flowers as well. But I think I also want to say that we salute you for consistently being yourself, whether it gets you into trouble or not. And I think yours is a very important story within hip hop. And if anyone's going to tell it, you should tell it yourself. So, thank you so much for telling us your story.
Thank you. You're far too kind. I just want to close it up and say...
How you closing my show?
Go ahead. Before you close, before you do that, I'm used to my shit, right? Yeah. I just want to close it up and say it's a beautiful struggle. I'm struggling still. I'm struggling to be a business person. I'm struggling to do relevant content. I'm struggling to understand the game. I'm struggling to have people that work for me, you know, and report to me. I'm struggling to be a cool dad. I'm a cool dad, but I'm struggling to be a husband. But, you know, you got to choose your struggles. And you got to make sure that they're beautiful. So ain't nothing is easy. And no matter what you guys think, my peers, the rap guys, are sitting in places where rappers are making, they could be turning over 20 million per annum. I'm sitting in conversations from a business perspective where the guys I'm trying to aspire to are, the young rappers probably trying to make 20 million per annum. That's what's big for him. I'm sitting in conversations with businesses where one client is giving them $500 million just for 12 months, you know. That's one client, you know. They lose a deal for 80 million and they go, that wasn't even a lot of money. I'm sitting in that thing, and when I say, you know, I got a small business, you know, we've made some money, but it ain't nothing like what the guys who are really making the money are. So I'm at the bottom. It's just that because there's not enough on this level of bottom, because black people struggle by default. It looks like it's the top, or it looks like it's I've gotten somewhere far. But it's because by default we all come from a long struggle that we kind of have been taught to suppress in our heads. You know what you come from your family, your life, your community, your hood, your parents, uncles that have been discouraging you. You know what you come from, you know? So with that being said, don't think it's pretty. It's a struggle, but it's a beautiful struggle. And Moses' struggle was beautiful because he was getting people together to go to the promised land. Never forget that. It's a struggle. That's how I keep going. That it ain't, if I wait for it to be pretty, I'm either part of the flock that Moses is trying to get through and I'm just hoping. But I'd rather be in the struggle and be like Moses, but not throw the 10 commandments, because Jesus don't have the glue to stick that shit together. So, because it wasn't invented then, so it's the truth. So what I'm trying to say to you guys, it looks pretty, but it's a struggle. Every day is a struggle, just to be sane, you know? But choose your struggles. That's it.
No doubt. And now to close it for real. Thank you to Zola and the Hive team for consistently also making sure that Imbali Live is dope. Thank you to the mixologist, to the sound desk, to everybody who showed up. I really appreciate it. The next Imbali Live is on the 4th of May, and it's with probably the dopest producer of the last 20 years. So please make sure you come through again and make sure you bring your friends. Everything is on helenherimbi.co.za. That's where you can RSVP. Thank you so much, guys.